Welcome to Stampin' Up with Kathy Goodman. Today we are making a card with the New Wonders Host stamp set from Stampin' Up. The card we are making is this card right here. It's a happy birthday card. There's a little girl on the front, and on the inside we have celebrate, and we have some leaves that look like they're blowing across the bottom of it. To get started, we are going to use our Sweetly Stitched shape. It's a rectangular shape. It's the largest one in that particular set, and we are going to stamp our image with the Tuxedo Memento black ink. And on larger stamps, sometimes if you put your stamp down and put your ink over the top, it makes it easier to get it all inked up. You can try it either way and see which way you like it best. We're going to set that aside. We are going to stamp this high enough on our rectangle shape that we have room to put the happy birthday below it. You want to press down firmly, try not to rock it, hold your paper when you lift it off. Looks like we got a good image. We'll set that aside. We're going to stamp the happy birthday. We're going to put that at the bottom, right about here. Make sure we got it inked up really good. And we're going to press down firmly and then hold our paper as we lift it off. Looks like we got a great image on that. Now we're going to set this aside so we can stamp the inside of our card. The inside we're going to stamp Celebrate, and we're going to use Memento black ink for that as well. And we want to do it at the top of our card, and we're going to press down firmly and then hold the paper as we lift it off. We got that done. And then across the bottom we want to stamp our leaves. We are going to stamp them at different angles to give it a look like they're sweeping across the bottom in the wind. So we're gonna do 5 of them probably across the bottom. And then we'll get out our watercolor pencils and we'll color them. We're going to put the lid on our ink since we're all done with that so it doesn't dry up. And we'll set that out of our way. And then we're going to get our colored pencils. I used Granny Apple Green for the leaves, so we can start with coloring them. We're going to color them with the colored pencil, and then we're going to go over them with our blender pen, and that will give it a smooth color appear like it's watercolored without all of the mess of watercolor. And we'll bring our girl in, and we are going to color the leaves on that artwork as well with our Granny Apple Green pencil. And get these all colored. There we go. Looks like we got them. Now we're going to take a little bit of Bermuda Bay and we're going to add some light shading at the bottom of the inside of the card around the leaves, just a little bit, just to kind of give it some color, make it look interesting. Okay, we've got that done. Now this little paper deal that she's holding on to, I am going to color lightly with the Bermuda Bay as well. Just want a little light shading on there just to give it a little bit of color. Then we're going to take the purple, and this is Gorgeous Grape color pencil, and we're going to color her dress. It looks like a little bit of her dress is flying up here in the wind. We'll get that. And then down here, then what we're going to do is finish coloring in her dress up here at the top. There we go. Looks like we've got it all colored in. We're going to add just a little bit of the Daffodil Delight on the wings. We just want just a tiny bit, not totally colored in. So just a little bit. And then we'll take our early espresso and we'll do her hair. Add that. Okay. And then while we have it, let's do just a little bit of the crushed curry. Let me find that one. There we go. And we're going to add just a little bit of highlights of crushed curry on our hair. And then when we use our pencils, we'll blend it all together. Then I'm going to take my Stampin' Blend pen and I am going to color her face. You want to make sure you don't color her eyeballs. If you do not have a Stampin' Blend pen, you can use one of the colored pencils. You just want to color really lightly. And I'm going to get her feet and her little hands right here. Okay, now we're going to take the purple and I'm going to color lightly on the hearts. Just add just a little bit of color to them. You can also take the Daffodil Delight and add just a little bit around the stars that are on this little artwork. Okay, looks like we got it all colored in. We're going to bring in our blender pen. You want to make sure when you use a blender pen that you first use a piece of scratch paper and make sure that there's no color left from the last time you used it. And we're going to just go over our leaves and blend them together. It just makes it look like we've watercolored it. It smooths out the color, takes away the pencil lines. Okay, and while we're doing green, let's go ahead and do the inside of our card. We'll get the leaves at the bottom here. And it just kind of smooths it out, gives it a really cool look. Okay, now I'm going to change colors, so we're going to wipe that off and clean it out. Now we're going to take and we're going to blend in the blue that we lightly did at the bottom of our card. Just kind of adds a little bit of color. And there, we got that all blended in. That looks good. We'll set that aside. And while we're doing the blue, we're going to do this portion right here that we used the blue pencil on. We're just going to kind of gently blend that together. You want to make sure that you don't do it too long in one area, because you can make the fibers on your paper start to come apart, and then it will make your paper almost like tear. Okay, so now we're coloring her little dress. I'm just blending it all in. Turned out really, really neat. And there's not a lot of, wasn't a lot of hard work. Just some simple colored pencils. We'll do the hearts while we got the purple on our blender pen. And then we're going to clean it off, and let's do our stars, kind of make them shine a little bit with the Daffodil Delight that we put on there. Now our wings, we'll get those, a little bit of blending. There we go. Next we're going to do her hair. We'll blend that all together. Looks good. Okay, we've got this all done now. So what do you think? Our artwork is all done. Let's set this up here. We're going to bring in our card base, and we will glue the inside into the card base. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our liquid glue, and we're going to put a bead of that all the way around the edges. Just a small bead. You don't have to have a lot of glue. If you use too much glue, it tends to make your paper wrinkle, and you don't want a card that you worked so hard on to have a wrinkled paper look. Okay, once you get it centered inside and you like where it is, you want to press firmly all the way around. Okay, then we're going to close the card. We are going to add our vellum paper to the front, and we're going to take, when you glue vellum, you don't want to make a line of glue. You want it, there's a design on it. So we're going to put our glue in the dots of the vellum. And that way when we glue it on the card front, it's not going to show. If I put a line of glue on this, you could see right where I put it, and then even when it dries, it stays there. So with this design, it kind of hides it. So what we're going to do is we're going to center it in the front of the card, just like this. Once you have it where you want it, you can press it down. There we go. And then we're going to take our Best Dressed Designer Series paper, and we're going to put a bead of glue on that, and we're going to put it in the middle, and it's going to go from this side here all the way over to here, and you can kind of line it up with the dots that go across to make sure you have it straight. You want to make sure it's not hanging over this edge, and it looks like we got it good. Press it down firmly. Then we're going to take our artwork for the front, and we are going to add dimensionals. Then we put a dimensional in each of the corners, and then we're going to gently press them down and remove the paper backing. Once you remove the paper backing, then we can put it on the front of our card, and we're going to put that on kind of at an angle, not straight. If you wanted to do yours at straight, you could do that. This kind of just gives it a little interesting look. So we're going to do this kind of like this angle right here. Press down on the dimensionals to hold it firmly to your card front. And then one last thing to decorate it, we have a glitter enamel dot that we're going to put down here by our happy birthday. And once you have that placed where you want it, then you just press down firmly, and it has adhesive on the back, and it will stick right to your card. So here's the card that we just completed together. There's the inside of it. And this is my sample that I started with. Thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed day.